Before we begin today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to mourn the loss of Nottingham Panthers forward Adam Johnson, whose life was tragically cut short during a match last week. The Brantford 99ers extend our deepest condolences to the Johnson family and the entire Panthers organization. The Panthers have designed a commemorative number 47 Adam Johnson jersey that's available in their shop now, with all proceeds benefiting the GoFundMe. I've attached the link to their website below. I'd also like to shout out my good buddy Sam, who has partnered with two of his teammates at the University of Windsor to raise awareness and funds benefiting men's physical and mental health. Along with growing mustaches for the entire month, Sam and his teammates are each running 3 kilometers a day for the entire month. If you wish to donate to that, I've attached a link below to his Movember profile. Thank you.
9-9! 9-9!
The 9-9.
We're the 9-9.
All right, welcome to episode 2 of Puck Talk with the Brantford 99ers. I'm your host, Hayden Burnell, joined alongside 99ers forward, number 23, Connor Koropatnicki, or simply Corp as he's known around the rink. Buddy, your last name's quite the handful. Had to shorten that down a bit. So, welcome. How's it going today?
What's going on, Bernal? It's going pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join me.
Yeah, no worries. No, I
I
love to do this.
Awesome. So let's just jump right in. So we'll start with your minor hockey career. You played your U15 and U16 seasons with the Hamilton Huskies. Um, and you were even chosen as an all-star in your U16 season, I believe. Putting up a point per game. I think you got like 57 and 56 games or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Now
Yeah,
sorry,
what
go
you
ahead.
say? Yeah, I played Huskies I played 8 years there.
Oh,
My
really?
whole AAA career, right when it started to when it ended there, I played Huskies.
Oh, okay.
But
Now,
yeah, so my last 2 years there, obviously one of the more important years. Uh, Played pretty well. We always had a great team growing up. We were always top in the top in the province, top in the country. Uh, we had a good thing going, and then the last year I got hurt at the second round of playoffs in one of the first games, so I missed that whole second, like, kind of not half, but like the whole playoffs I missed. And then OHL Cup we qualified for right away. We had a bid in there, but it was COVID, so
all
it
right.
got auto canceled like a few days right before it started. But the crappy thing was, like, I worked so hard. I hurt my leg. Like, I had a bunch of sprains in my, like, MCL and stuff, and cracked one of my bones. I'm not exactly sure, but I worked really hard to get back, and I got cleared like a week before, and then they canceled it, which was horrible.
Yeah. That
So
was
it was
that
just like one of those tournaments too. There's only like a few tournaments when you're young, like you're looking forward to. Obviously, OHL Cup is one. That's a huge one. We went to the Quebec one, the Pee Wee one. That was a blast. That was probably the one of the most exciting times of my life. It's when we all went there, just being with the guys, and just the hotel experience. It was so fun, and just playing in that the Videotron Center, which was, yeah, it was unreal. But like minor hockey for me, it was a blast. Like we were never bad at all, which was a good thing.
That's always a good feeling, right? When you're one of
Yeah,
the top
our
teams.
first year in the league, we won. We won with the Huskies, and then I think we won 3 more times after that in the 8 years. We won the whole league. We were in the finals, I think, 3 times. So it was always just, we always had a good thing going. My coach, Chris Trevally, he was there the whole time, and he was amazing, and good supporting staff too with him that still talk to today, still go out and skate with them sometimes. They help coach younger teams now, and everything's awesome. And you make lots of friends during that time too, because we had a solid core going, and
But
it's
I was
it's
I
tough.
was gonna ask you if any of your current teammates on the 99ers? Did you grow up playing with any of them?
Oh, I played against Panko.
Played against him?
So we played Panko at like a bunch. That first series in the playoffs I was talking about, we played against him. Uh, but yeah, I'm sure we played against some other guys, like some of the other 04s,
Mhm.
but I'm not exactly sure when or where. Like I know Kojo played on Vaughn, so we may have played him. Anderson, he's an 04, but I'm not exactly sure. But Panko was an every year thing. I
What
remember.
what team was he on?
He was on Brantford.
Oh yeah, I interviewed him last week. Should have known that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the OHL Cup, you were saying like that's that's a big opportunity for U16 players to get scouted, right? That's a big one for like teams to look at for the OHL draft. And I see that you actually went in the U18s priority selection to Barrie in round two. But then you took your talent stateside. So do you want to tell me how that all came about?
Yeah, so obviously that draft year I wanted to get drafted. It's just a good accomplishment and just good feeling too, right?
For sure.
But like my dad played baseball in the States and he knows about that school side and how it's a good option. So kind of growing up, I always obviously wanted to play in the OHL. It's a little kid's dream, but I always leaning towards trying to go to the States side and wanting to go to school. So we had me and my parents obviously made a choice there. A few teams reached out to me in the States and we made that decision. And we have some of my friends, kids from like Rochester and Buffalo area, they already went for a year or two, and they loved it. So that made it a little easier for me too to go down to the prep. But that so yeah, after the draft year and wasn't drafted, was kind of surprised. It happens, but I thought I had a good year. But that second year, we didn't even have a season really. We had
Right.
got on
That was
the ice
the
whenever I could. And we
that was the
played some
COVID
like
season.
yeah, played some underdoor games and stuff. But I was just developing, doing whatever I could to get better. But I got drafted there, which was amazing and a huge accomplishment for me and just good to have on the resume. But by that time, I already kind of decided that I wanted to take the time, like go down and get a good education at my for my last few years of high school, and then play some good hockey too, where kids are going D1, kids are going right to the USHL, to the NOL after. Some
Mhm.
kids even going back to the O, see it wherever in the CHL it may be. But yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to go down there, and that experience was unbelievable in the school.
So was there a lot of traveling involved playing down there? Like would you play teams like all across the country or how did that work? How'd the league work?
So our school, we played teams in like the New England area.
Hmm.
We were right, we were about 7 hours from Brantford, the Hamilton area. We were right in the border, New York and Connecticut. So we were the furthest team west, technically, and then all the other teams were towards Boston.
Okay.
But all the teams were in New England area, like Connecticut, Massachusetts. So of course we got those 3.5 hour bus rides, but like some of those other schools were 30 minutes, 40 minutes, nothing crazy. We only played 32 games in a year too.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't really much. But
Hmm.
before the season we had some like it's called split season, which is it's kind of weird. You play for a travel team before the year actually starts for prep because you're only allowed to start in first or second week in November. So all the kids in prep would like come together and it's called a beast league and you'd play for a travel team. So every weekend you'd go down to Boston and played 4 or 5 games for the
Was
first two
that
months.
was that the island?
That was probably the most traveling because it was just always in Boston and we were the farthest spot.
Hmm.
But other than that, it wasn't horrible at all. We always had bus stuff going everywhere. And there's a few teams that were far, but other than that, they're just nice and close. And then we got those other home games too, right?
Yeah, I was wondering what that team was between like your 2 years in Millbrook, like the Islanders prep U18. Is that what you're referring to as that travel team?
Yeah, so my first year there, I played it was with the like some with the Regals and then some with the Islanders.
Okay.
And that's just it's just kind of a split season team. So you just play tournament games. And there's about seven other of my teammates playing for that Islanders team. So
Mhm.
that's why I went there and I was playing there. It was just more convenient for travel and stuff. We can all carpool together.
Yeah.
And then the second year I was there, I was supposed to be playing for Roco, Rochester Collision.
Yep.
It you can play wherever basically. It's just where the team's kind of from. But my second game there, I got hit, dislocated my shoulder, tore all that stuff in there, and then I had season-ending surgery like a month later. So the second year of school there, for hockey side, I missed it all. I played 6 games. It was rough though because I was out from November all the way, and then I played 6 games in March, the last 6 games of the year, and I played great. Came back, I was a point per game. Just nice being back too, playing, getting on the ice. I was on the ice the whole time I was out too, even though I couldn't shoot a puck, couldn't stick handle. Kind of just gliding around out there in my free time. That was the nice thing about being at the prep school too. The ice gym, everything was right there. So the ice for me was a 30-second walk from my dorm room. So like I had a free class or something, I'd go just put some sweats on and skates and just kind of glide around out there, just get the feeling back because I was couldn't practice, obviously, couldn't play. So it was horrible watching the whole year. And then I worked hard, got back and had a little good end of the year there, and made me pretty excited about that.
Yeah, definitely. Now, so last year was your graduation year?
Yeah, I
Uh,
graduated in like May.
Okay, so you came back to Canada and did you know you wanted to play for the 99ers or how did that situation kind of come about?
Uh so I had no clue. I was gonna try to play in the Null. I had a few Null teams I was skating with.
Hmm.
I was skating with Johnstown. This is right after my injury. After I was back from my injury, it wasn't anything serious. Just get me out there, just with the team and stuff. And then in the summer, I was at New Jersey Titans main camp, and I made it pretty far through there, and then just didn't work out there. So I just made the decision to come back home for this year at least. And whatever, I had a few teams that were reaching out and stuff, but at the end of the day, my coach Jazza and Daly, I was skating with them a few times and they seemed like they really wanted me to come play here, and it seemed like they were great coaches and they're going to turn something around. And they had a good little start of a team going,
Hmm.
and some great guys on the team, all the good guys that are skating with in the summer. So that made it a little easier for me to make the decision to come here. And yeah, it was very random. I had no clue about coming to play for Brantford or the OJ, but Coach Jaws and Coach Dales made it pretty easy for me to say yes and come play here.
And then you get to spend a year closer to home because you're from the Hamilton Stony Creek area if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I live at home, so I just
That,
drive that
that's good.
32 minutes every day. But
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
yeah, it's not bad. It just
Yeah.
sucks when there's traffic at
Yeah.
rush hour, but
Yeah, that
it's
403 is not fun.
yeah, it's good other than that.
Nice. So, do you know what you plan to do after this year? Like, do you plan to pursue post-secondary education, or are you kind of taking it one season at a time here?
Yeah, I'm kind of taking it one season at a time. So I'm not doing any school this year. I did 5 years of high school already, but at the prep, it wasn't really like a 13th year. It was like a repeat 12. So I was still getting great education down there, and I had my fifth year, and I was still doing good classes and whatever I needed to add on to my university college resume there. But this year, I haven't been doing anything, just trying to focus on hockey. But I'm most likely like 100% going to take that my last year junior, just get all the years in I can.
Absolutely.
And the goal is to play school college hockey somewhere, whether it's D1, D3, or U Sports. I want to pursue hockey at a university level. So then it's hockey and schooling together. It's a little double whammy there. It's not just like I'm going to school, still doing the thing I love, get to play every day, and then obviously getting a important schooling in too. So I'm not sure exactly yet, but I'm gonna if I'm playing next year, I'm probably gonna do some online stuff, just get back in the rhythm so I'm not just dry going into school the next year because that'd be tough because
Yeah.
I've been used to I like hardcore school every day for the last 2 years, and before that it was COVID, so it was really nothing, just online. So then I had to jump right back into at Millbrook where they take their school seriously. They got like had lots of help around me down there, so it was nice and easy to get back into it. But yeah, I'm gonna probably take some online stuff next year and play that last year juniors and then take it from there. Depends
Now,
on.
did you know that or sorry, did you notice a difference between the education down in the States versus like high school up here in Canada, or was it pretty similar?
Oh, it was completely different. For me, I only had that first year and a half in high school because of COVID.
Yeah.
And I went to Bishop Ryan and it was nuts there. There's 2,000 plus kids. All my classes had 30 plus kids. Had I don't even remember how the format really worked, but it was completely different. At Millbrook, it was amazing. 10 kids a class.
Wow.
Got only like well, I don't even know. I had like 4 or 5 classes a day, but some you'd have your free blocks in there, so you wouldn't be stuffed with 5 classes in one day. You'd have your 5 classes you have, and then you'd have three a day, and then three the next day, and it's not really, it's all crowded like normal high school is. You still get lots of like workload, but
Yep.
it's not it's not killing you on how much time you have. You have lots of help around you. You have the teachers whenever you really need the if you have any questions, you have tutors at the school, you have your fellow classmates and teammates and stuff if you need any help. But it was great down there. Very different, and I loved every second of it school wise. It was unreal.
Yeah, that does sound like a really good setup. So my next question for you here, I try to ask every player when I interview them. I actually forgot to ask Panks and Ando last week. You wear 23 here. Did you grow up wearing 23 or did you have another number? And is there any significance behind the number?
Yeah, I wore 23 every year. Obviously, house league and stuff, I was just random. But
Yeah.
as soon as I got the pick, 23, I love that number right from the bat. I wear it because it's my mom's birthday, March 23rd. So I wore that number for whatever, 10 years, whatever it was, 8 years in the Huskies and 2 years after that and before that and stuff. And I wore 21 at Millbrook. One of my teammates wearing 23 going into there. But that has a little I was had a few options, but 21 I was kind of keeping to tradition. It was my sister's birthday actually,
Oh, nice.
and my parents' anniversary date. So that had a little meaning behind it to take 21 rather than just taking some random number. And I
Mhm.
enjoyed the number too because it wasn't really far from 23 and had that
Yeah.
two in it, which I like. But I'm back to 23 this year, and that's the number I've always worn. And yeah, that's my reason behind that there. And I'm probably not going to change unless I have to.
Yeah, I love when the players have certain significance behind their numbers. I know I do. Some of the players, like it doesn't matter to them, right? But I always think it's cool when there's some significance behind those numbers. Connor, I'd like to thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me for episode 2.
Thank
Um,
you.
and best of luck this season and keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
9-9! 9-9!
The 9-9.
We're the 9-9.